Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Energy Keto Girl. And today's awesome guest is Christine Fitzgerald. Now, Christine is a certified nutritionist and the founder of the keto-friendly Smart Vine Wine Company. They have delicious wines which are infused with a variety of amazing ingredients that I can't wait for you to hear about. And in order to get a 15% discount on this amazing wine, go to smartvinewines.com/HEG and you will save 15%. And when they ask for a special code at checkout, just put in HEG for High Energy Girl. Hey everyone, welcome to High Energy Keto Girl, a podcast helping women to age stronger because it is never too late to get fit, be strong, and feel sexy. I'm your host, Tracy Gluhige, health coach and personal trainer and founder of highenergygirl.com. Each week, we will either have a guest interview, which will provide you encouragement or an actionable tip to help you age stronger, or I will do a solo episode. Please also join our awesome Facebook group called High Energy Girls, and I'm looking forward to see you on the inside of that group and hope you enjoy today's show. Create Whole Body Wellness, a powerful new advancement in energy medicine. Increase your energy, empower your life. I am super excited to announce that I am now a bioenergetics practitioner. And many people are like, well, what is bioenergetics? So imagine that our body is controlled by our energy field, and these fields get distortions and blockages, which create physical and emotional symptoms. So how do we get energy blockages? From stress, toxins, EMFs, emotional traumas, physical scars, and physical traumas. All you need to do is decode the human body field to get to the root cause and restore your energy for life. For more information, head on over to the blog at highenergygirl.com/bioenergetics with an X. That's BIOENERGETIX, and heal your energy for life. Hey, Christine, thanks for coming on the show today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
I love your wine. So for the listeners that don't know you, please let them know a little bit about yourself.
Tracy, it's been a long, good road, but I just want to start by saying I grew up as a former competitive gymnast training for the Olympics. So diet and nutrition going along with that just was pounded into my head to have the most perfect, body, physique, and mental capacity to take on the world and be confident and healthy, and also to help people do the same. So that was really the start. And then I became a nutritionist, and I've been one for 20 years, spearheading all these different things that, of course, clients have to put in front of me. And I created a wine. We'll talk about that and why I did it because of what came out of my nutrition practice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk about the wine right away, because I just love it.
Great.
I love the idea. So people who don't know this, you have this wine that has turmeric and chicory, and there's no glyphosate, which we know is a whole ball of, or a can of worms. But tell us why you developed that wine and what is so unique about it.
Oh gosh, there's so many different pieces, and that's a great question. So basically, I was a mean nutritionist, and I have a very happy face. I really was for 20 years. That's my confession. I was a mean nutritionist. People say, why were you so mean? And I said, no wine. And that just crushed people because they have to drink wine. And I mean, like I said, I came from being this gymnast for all my life. And as I took that no pain, no gain approach to that nutrition practice, it's like black and white, no wine. You're never going to meet your goals and this whole thing if you drink your wine. Because I knew what was out there. I knew that it was loaded with sugar, loaded with chemicals. They don't have to disclose what's in it, on the label. You really don't know what you're drinking. So clients would drink it, headache, hangover, bloat. Who wants to work out the next day? Who wants to follow their keto diet? Who wants to do anything to really help themselves? And it's like this compound effect of just feeling more and more yucky because it's our constant. So I started creating a day after remedy. I created this 4-part day after remedy of the turmeric, the chicory, a muscadine grape skin, and a lemon peel. And I put it all together for my knowledge. And it was working. I was giving it to clients. Said, look, I know you're going to drink your crap wine. Let's be nice here. I'll meet you halfway. Put a dropper in water and down it. You'll be fine. Your headache and hangover. Your blood sugar will be more balanced. And then over time, I thought, I got to create the whole product. You can't just put, vitamin C in a Twinkie and call it good. The base is still crap. It's still a Twinkie with a little vitamin C in it. So my research started, and I started just buying up a bunch of organic wine, throwing it in my kitchen and infusing this liquid concoction in there, and thought, okay, how am I going to do this? How is this going to work? How's it going to taste? So I can talk to you about the journey when we get there, but it was this whole journey that I think is very fascinating because no one's done it before.
Yeah, nobody. And it gives it such a unique, refreshing blend, like a flavor. I love it. So, so your purpose was to create a wine initially that people wouldn't have like a hangover effect from. Right. But you went further than that.
I did. So that there's purpose behind everything I put in there, of course. So for example, the chicory is a prebiotic. So as we know, alcohol depletes the good bacteria in your gut, which is our immune system, helps us absorb nutrients, digest. And when that gets low or compromised by diet, environmental factors, etc., then, bad wine, then we get bloated and we start gaining weight in the belly. So the chicory root actually is a prebiotic, as I said, and it feeds the good bacteria back in so that the gut isn't harmed or doesn't create the side effects that the alcohol is creating. Aha, that's number one. Gut health is very important. And then the lemon peel, well, everything's awesome with the lemon, but also it's great for the liver. We know that. We know that it helps to flush the toxins, the bad fats, it protects the liver. That was a no-brainer. And then we have muscadine grape skin. And muscadine grape skin, I was very, very specific on doing muscadine because it increases the resveratrol content by 30% in the wine. People don't realize that you have to drink 1,000 gallons of wine, 1,000 gallons or 30 bottles in one sitting to get the amount of resveratrol you would need to create a healthy heart, protect the brain, anti-aging, all that good stuff. Now it's in there. You don't have to drink 30 bottles. You're welcome. Also has something called ellagic acid, which helps us to burn fat. It's very well known that the grape skin is powerful in helping us metabolize bad fats out of our body and out of our liver. So it's helping people to be a little bit healthier on that regard. And then turmeric has been around for thousands of years. We know that. It's a liver protectant. It helps to balance the blood sugar. And all these things, all four of them incredibly, are actual antivirals and they're antihistamines. And most people react to the histamines in wine. They're not reacting to sulfites because that's like 1% of the population. If people, they eat potato chips and they say, well, I'm fine. Well, there's more sulfites in potato chips than there are in wine. So we're just kind of being marketed, kind of, again, this herd mentality thought process goes through my mind, unfortunately, is that, whatever's put out there, we believe it's the sulfites. Well, histamines are really high, especially in red wine. You put this antihistamine blend in there. It's like taking an allergy pill, a Claritin with your wine, and you don't get the hives, the rashes, the stuffy nose, the watery eyes, the allergic reaction you would get like when you obviously have access to pollen, during this time right now. So it's multifaceted. There's so many different symptoms that it takes care of. But one story I just want to say is that my sister-in-law takes 10 different antihistamines. She actually came and visited us middle last year, and she takes 10 different antihistamines, some from her doctor, some from over the counter, in order to have a glass of wine. She breaks out in full body hives. And I actually recorded this, and she, I'm trying to remember what state she lives in, unfortunately, but Pennsylvania, I believe. And so full body. So what we did was we said, okay, drink your crap wine tonight, whatever, take your antihistamines. She got a full body rash, even with 10, like a whole handful of antihistamines. And then the next day she drank Smart Vine with no antihistamines and not one allergic reaction. Literally head to toe allergic reaction with 10 antihistamines, still gets the reaction. Smart Vine, no reaction, no antihistamines needed. And she drank a half bottle because she likes her wine. That's what, 3 glasses? So it's powerful when you get a really healthy base product and then you add even more goodies into it, which you can't even taste. It's great. Yeah.
I actually notice a unique flavor in the wine. I didn't know if I was tasting that or if it was just the winemaker's talent.
It could be. We don't add anything crazy in there, as you know, and I know we'll touch on the things that are added into wine to enhance flavor and to enhance color. And we don't do any of that, but cut corners and appeal to an audience that unfortunately isn't really educated and wants all these different kinds of flavors, kind of like artificial coloring food, artificial flavoring food is also in the wine industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really bad that they don't even have to label it and people can drink, toxins. It's funny because I know that in Europe, they don't allow us to import a lot of things because of that reason. Like even like meat and dairy, they can't import it there. So because of all the crap, it's like they're trying to kill ourselves from the inside out. It just makes no sense.
Because we'll eat it. The Europeans won't, but ship it over here, we'll eat it, which is really sad, but it's the truth. So just a snapshot of that is that the wine industry adds something called mega purple. And mega purple is a purple dye that goes into red wine, obviously specifically to give it a very vibrant color and to be able to change the color to appeal to a consumer's eye on the shelf. And we don't do any of that. We think that that's crazy. The other thing is that they add when, for example, there's a lot of gluten in wine. People don't realize that wine is full of gluten because it's aged in oak barrels and they use a wheat paste, basically a flour paste, to seal the barrels. We use stainless steel, so we're 100% gluten-free. But other wineries that use stainless steel to age their wine, they add sawdust and they add oak chips to the wine because they wanted to have that oaky flavor that you read about in wine magazines. So they can manipulate the flavor by how much sawdust or what kinds or how much or how many wood chips they put in there to, again, modify the flavor of the wine. We don't do that. So it's very interesting. It's like, well, we don't have oak barrels to give people this new kind of vibrant varietal. A new varietal just came out with more of an oaky flavor. Yeah. How much sawdust there? I don't want to drink sawdust. How many wood chips are, on the wood chips are, different flavors and all these different things. So there's kind of behind the scenes, what's happening in the cellar to kind of turn the wine industry into the beverage industry because people, are looking for sugar. They're looking for flavor. They're looking for something new. That's how it works. Unfortunately, we don't do any of that. We're certified vegan, which is another thing. We don't have any gluten in our wine. We just know what goes on. And it was nice that I found a sustainable winemaker in Santa Barbara County that has been doing this for over 30 years, because you have to find people that are like-minded to carry out your mission to help other people be healthy. Oh, it was really a blessing to be able to find him.
Oh, that's cool. So you said three things I want to ask about. So first of all, the resveratrol. Mm-hmm. So is it also in the white wine or just in the red?
Oh, it's in all 3 varietals because we put the same 4 herbs into every single bottle.
Okay, cool. And so instead of drinking 30 bottles, how many do you need to drink to get
just
that?
One. Oh. Just one, which is only 4 glasses of wine. People are like, well, that's gonna last about. No, it's about 4 glasses of wine if you drink about 5 ounces.
Okay, cool. So, and then the other thing is you said keto and sugar. Is this wine have less sugar in it?
Yes. So wine has up to 130 grams of sugar per bottle. That is what we're calculating when we actually do lab testing. So I was taught by a doctor. My brain is very geeky and lab oriented. I did a lot of blood and urine and stool testing. I'm not the typical nutritionist. So again, very geeky in that regard. So I've lab tested like I don't know how many wines I can't count, and I don't disclose that I found glyphosate in that said they didn't have glyphosate, especially organic. I thought I'll just use organic wines, going back to that, but they all have glyphosate in them. So I had to find a vineyard that was glyphosate free, and years for dollars in testing just up and down the California coast to find vineyard that didn't have the glyphosate. So organic didn't even meet my standards. We're cleaner than organic. But it's fascinating to see how much sugar is actually being added to wine, unfortunately. So we only have 1 gram in the entire bottle. So it's very different. Basically, every glass you're drinking, you don't have any sugar, because think of stevia, how it's a plant from South America. It tastes sweet. When you rub it between your fingers, it kind of looks like marijuana. You rub it between your fingers, taste it. You can put it in your tea. I used to work in an herb shop in Berkeley, and it doesn't raise your blood sugar. So same thing with certain grape varietals is you can have, there's like 400 different types of white grapes. And these grape varietals, they can taste sweet, but they won't actually increase the insulin. They won't actually increase the blood sugar and cause that blood sugar roller coaster effect and the weight gain and headache and all that. So people get the headache from wine because it's like having a bad fruity drink at a bar. Like, why did I do that? They know the more sugar they put in that fruity drink at the bar, the worse they're going to feel the next day, right? Which is why people go, vodka tonics or whatever. They know the smarter choice of how they want to feel the next day, depending on, what they want to drink. So
interesting.
Yeah. We don't add any sugar. So that's the other thing. Again, they add sugar. We don't add sugar. It's what we have in there is naturally occurring.
Okay, cool. And it tastes really, really good. It's delicious. And what is your favorite of your 3 wines?
I think the rosé, it's become a huge favorite amongst, our customers, because people are drinking it year round now instead of just summer, when it was kind of marketed to be this summer drink in a can and, open it up on the beach, whatever. But it's so refreshing and it goes with everything. And honestly, when I got into the cellar with a winemaker, we tested, I can't even tell you how many different wines. To figure out what types of wines I liked and what kind of aftertaste, because sometimes they give you the bite in the throat. They're really heavy, they're bold. And so that's why we have mixes of the different wines. Like the red is a Malbec Grenache. We added a lot of Grenache in all 3 so that it was softer, more drinkable, felt good going down. You actually feel lighter, you feel better, instead of that kind of bold, heavy, get you in the back of the throat type of wine. That's not what we are. And if you like that, that's great. That's like a Napa wine. That's a Sonoma wine. People are looking for that. But if you want something light, drinkable, feels good, goes with everything, this is what it is. And that's what I like. So again, that's why we created it this way. Did these really cool blends with different varietals.
Yeah, I really like blends actually. So it's fantastic. And one thing, so did you touch on the chemicals? Like, I know how many chemicals are American wine people allowed to add to their wine?
Well, the TTB, which is where all the alcohol regulation is 72 plus chemicals in a bottle of wine. 72, and we have 0, including no glyphosate, certified glyphosate free. And it's unbelievable, but it's kind of like our food supply. You don't really know what's in it unless you read the ingredients, right? We're really big advocates. That's why I have a nutrition label on my shirt. We have this on our website. We're the only brand to have a nutrition facts label on our wine. So it tells you how many calories, how many carbs per glass, how much sugar per glass. And then it shows all the different herbs in there, and that we're certified vegan, glyphosate free, all that, because we're transparent. We work in integrity, and we want people to know that what they eat is as important as what they drink. It all goes together. You can't, eat well and then drink crap. Your body's going to react, and you're still going to get the health issues down the lines. The compound effect of that.
So how many grams of carbs?
What's that?
How many grams of carbs?
2 carbs per glass, 2 carbs per 5 ounces, and 110 calories per glass, and 1 gram of sugar in the bottle. So
you need to come up with a t-shirt, and I'll buy one, or a tank top preferably, that says saving my carbs for wine.
I love it. I love it. And it may actually already be out there, but I think that that's brilliant. And, you know, we've done a lot of physical events when we could, and people love this. I mean, people wanted to buy this shirt, and I thought, you really want to sport a nutrition facts label, but will people believe in it? Like, yeah, I want to show that I'm drinking clean wine. I want to, you know, blast the nutrition facts out there because it's not out there. But beer is starting to do that. I think it's Budweiser. I don't drink beer, but gosh, when I was in the store a few weeks ago, they have a nutrition facts label on their beer, and then also their commercials are, we're the only beer that doesn't use corn syrup. I'm like, there's corn syrup in beer. So it's interesting that the alcohol industry is starting to kind of wake up and be more transparent, because the audience is, or their customers are asking for it. They're getting more and more allergies. They're feeling worse and worse. They want to drink the product, but without the side effects. You know, how can they do both?
It's so important because like the US spends the most per capita on healthcare of any other country, and yet we're the least healthy of all the industrialized nations. It's
Right.
like
Sick care.
it's total sick care, but it
Yeah.
all starts with food, right?
Right.
So they're eating all these calories, and you know, and I used to be that way. Like when I started studying nutrition in 2007, I didn't know.
Right.
And it was all about calories, but we need to look at the quality of our food, not just be focused on that.
Right. Right. And organic, you know, what does that mean anymore? What does natural mean anymore? It's the consumer really has to dig deep. And do they have time for that? Not all the time. They're kind of betting that you don't. There's those few that say, you know, I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm going to look at the label. I'm going to talk to the company. I'm going to choose a different product. You know, it just, you get to that point. It's, you got to take care of your family. You want to feel good. You want to live life to the fullest. You don't want to be on a ton of meds just surviving, right? It's like you want to thrive, but how do you do that if you don't know what you're putting in your body?
And most people have no clue. Like they literally go, they like, even some of my closest friends, like we are very opposite in a lot of things. And like she didn't even know about what macros are, and let alone micros, like just no clue. And I think that's why we just need to educate people, because once you learn something, you can't unlearn it.
Right. That's great. That's a great point. You're right. I mean, it's in there. It's absolutely in there for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
say that again.
It changes your awareness, your trajectory, you know, makes you second guess. I mean, that's we want everyone to become hyper aware and make better decisions. And the way we're going to make better decisions and be healthy and stay healthy is to open our eyes and to start reading labels and look around and look, you know, what's, you know, behind the label, what's going on, you know, what are they really putting in my food? What are they really putting in my liquid? What's, you know, these medications or whatever. Is it because maybe I'm vitamin B deficient that I don't have a healthy mood? You know, it's what am I lacking nutritionally that will help me feel better mood wise, and, you know, help me tackle another day. Just thinking about it differently.
Oh, absolutely. It's just about looking at your anatomy and deciding that you want to change instead of aging like everybody else that goes through decades and decades of suffering and popping pills that create symptoms that make you have more pills. It's maddening. My mom has Alzheimer's. My dad passed from cancer.
Sorry.
And oh, check this out. He was in chemotherapy, and I was talking to him on the phone. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, eating candy. I said, why are you eating candy? Oh, because they give it to us.
How recent? Well, I'm sure it's still going on. That's not going to change.
He just passed in February, but like this was going on, I don't know, every time he was doing anything. And his doctor, because I told him right away, Dad, you got to get off sugar. And his doctor says, oh, it doesn't matter what you eat.
It's painful to hear that, but I've been listening to that for 20 years when people, as you know, they come to you and they're crying because their doctor's not listening, or their doctor's not believing them, or you're just giving them a pill because, you know, whatever it is. And we're still in that mentality, but people are becoming smarter and more aware, and they're asking more questions. We have Google. On the rabbit hole, they're more educated. They ask more questions. I remember the transfer of, you know, me having all these books on my desk and helping people, you know, go through different protocols. And then all of a sudden Google came, and then all these questions. I mean, people didn't have these questions before. all of a sudden they are informed and they want to know more. And, the doctors, is hard to keep up sometimes, but there's also common sense that sugar feeds cancer, right? Keep it in an acidic environment. Sugar is what feeds cancer. It's unfortunate. It really is,
Yeah. What are you going to do?
like you that knows, and then you have to be the advocate, and will the parent listen, or whoever it is? You can only hope that what you say will make an impact. It's their choice. It's their choice, though, in the end, right?
So you said you guys have events. Where do you guys have events?
We've just been in California. We've been up and down the coast when we could have events. We did Las Vegas. We did Beverly Hills. We did Hollywood. We did the Critics' Choice Awards. That was really fun. We did that twice. And that was just mind-blowing to see all these, A-list actors coming off the red carpet and drinking my wine. And that was incredible. And then we do small events around the local area that I'm here in the East Bay.
Okay, awesome. Well, hopefully we'll get off lockdown soon enough that we can, you got to let me know when that is. I want to come.
I would love it.
I'm only about an hour and 15 minutes away from Concord.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's a rock's throw. I mean, we usually travel to LA. We have a 17-month-old baby. I actually launched the wine company on the day she was due because I'm crazy. She came 10 days late, so that was good, I guess. But so I have this baby at home with the business growing and the baby growing. It's amazing. But we have literally put her in the car and driven like the 10, 12-hour drive to Vegas to LA with her since she was practically born, because most of the events were in the Southern California area. So this baby's been on the road, and that's been a whole interesting journey, just going from there so much and then now being home and doing these virtual events. But I can't wait to hug people and give them a glass of wine and tears. And, we need that connection, that camaraderie. And I can't wait for that to happen. And it's important to us for sure.
Oh, it's so important. My mom and my stepdad live in a senior place, and they won't let them even leave their room. And to me, they're killing them on the inside out, like lowering their immune system, week after week after week.
Right.
And that's my concern. And, it's like, I do believe that is going to have some repercussions. So, what one piece of wisdom would you tell the listeners today?
Just pay attention. That's what I would say. Honestly, I would pay attention and say you're worth it, because you are. And if you really pay attention to what you're being fed, I'm talking TV, I'm talking radio, I'm talking the store shelves, pay attention. You are smarter and wiser, and you know what's good and what's bad. Candy's bad and kale is good. You are smart. We have forgotten how smart we are. It's very true. And you're worth it. You need to be here to hug people. People need your hug. They need your kiss. They need your love. They need your encouragement. I'm going to cry. They need you to be well. They need you to stand up and fight for their children and their health. And the way the world is right now, you need to figure out what you can control. And that's by keeping your eyes open and leading with your heart. And you know what's right. You really do. Just pay attention, open your eyes, and be kind to one another. The children don't know what's happening when they're scared. They act out, right? Love on them, kiss them, and, get them out there. My daughter was hugging a tree this morning. It was really cute. I was trying to take a picture of it, and she would put her arms around the tree and say, hug. It was so cute because she's just learning to speak. And it was just like, I didn't even tell her to do that or say that. I mean, she just ran over and hugged the tree. Hug. And I never heard her say hug before. And it was just so sweet and so touching, and just like the reality of what these children need. They need you. They need you to be around. They need nature. And it's just, watch your children. They will lead the way. They really will lead the way. It was so, as a new mom. So yeah, I kind of went on about that, but there's a lot of emotions running, but at the same time, I think it's important that instead of getting upset at our children, they don't understand, they're scared, they're looking to you for guidance, to really watch them. Again, they're leading the way. Hug a tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully it's funny. I've seen things about someday our future children are going to be reading about this in a history book.
Right. Yeah. Right.
The one good thing I can say is that a lot of that, I've seen a story about how the children are going to say, it was great. Mommy and daddy were both home all day with me.
Yeah. Right. And the dogs love it. Right. And the cats, I mean, the dogs are getting a lot of walks and they're getting a lot of love, so there's the positive, and then it's just, in kind of the frustration of it all, of trying to figure things out. I was reminded today, last thing is, how often do you tell your partner thank you? How often do you thank your partner? Did your husband or your partner, whoever, did they do the dishes for you? Did they say, I love you today? Did you just stop and hug them? And, I've been trying to appreciate my husband every day for everything that he does, even something so small. It's just opening our eyes to the little things that our partners are doing to really try. I don't think that we're giving our partners enough credit, to be honest. And I think the more love we give our partners, obviously, the more love the whole family has.
Oh, that was
demonstrated, right? The kids see that demonstrated. Mommy and daddy hug, they kiss, they love each other, they tell each other they appreciate each other, just for picking up a toy or whatever. It needs to be demonstrated. And that's just what I'm learning from my daughter.
You are a beautiful person inside and out, my dear.
Thank you. I'm trying my best.
Well, I think you're doing more than you're trying. You're a doer. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I am. I hate sitting around. I'm an action taker. I'm like, okay, what's the solution? What do we do? Let's do it. Let's go. And that's how I've always been. And it's, what can you do? What can you do? Well, you can hug your partner, you can hug your kid, and it will change the day. It will change that one more day. Yeah.
That's very true. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm so thankful that you came on the show, and your wine is amazing. I love it. And I told you I'm going to do a salad and wine show that's going to launch simultaneously with this, so that we can it's a really silly thing I do, but
I like it though. Silly is fun.
Yeah, I have to not take myself too seriously. You know. So awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show. It was lovely meeting you. And when we are off lockdown, I'm going to drive up north and come see you.
Yes, I would love that. And I would also love, I think that people know where to get the wine, where to find out more. The website, smartvinewine.com. Go on the website, look at the nutrition facts, see how we're different. Email me, ask me questions. I'm an open book. That's what it's all about, integrity and transparency. And I know, Tracy, that you have a link to hand out to the listeners as well, to give them more nutrition information to stay healthy. And big hugs to you, Tracy. Thank you for your time today. This was really a blessing. Thank you for your time and your heart today.
Oh, you're so sweet. And you said something. What about social media? Are you guys on Instagram and Facebook at Smart Vine? It's
hashtag, yes, it's SmartVineWine. So you can find us hashtag smartvinewine.com. I'm sorry, hashtag smartvinewine, obviously, on Instagram. SmartVineWine is our Facebook handle. That's just our handle. SmartVineWine. You can find us anywhere, website, social. That's it.
Yeah, it was on your Facebook page. You guys are active, which is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. It's important. Again, we are a big educator, so we have to keep putting out education, and that's the forefront of how to keep people, in the know and making the right decisions. So.
Yeah, perfect. All right, my dear. Well, thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Tracy. You too. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh boy, was that a good show. Now don't forget, in order to get a 15% discount on this amazing wine, go to smartvinewines.com/HEG and you will save 15%. And when they ask for a special code at checkout, just put in HEG for High Energy Girl. If you enjoy the show, please share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, please head on over to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. And if you know anyone who'd be an awesome guest, please email me at tracy@highenergygirl.com. Thank you so much for listening. Go out and be well. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.